All right, so today we're going to jump right into helping you get prepped for your community care caseworker interview.
Using RoleCatcher's resources.
Yeah, specifically their interview guide to give
Yes.
you like a little extra edge going in.
Yeah.
We'll tackle some of those like tough questions that might pop up and sprinkle in some career insights from their career guide too.
Right. It's a really rewarding
Yeah,
field. You're really going to be able to make a difference in people's lives.
absolutely. So
Vulnerable adults, especially.
let's get to the heart of it. Like, what kind of questions might they throw your way?
Right.
RoleCatcher's guide starts with a classic. Can you tell us about your experience working with vulnerable populations?
Mm-hmm.
How would you advise someone to approach that? Knowing interviewers are looking for more than just a list of like previous jobs.
Right. Yeah. You really want to showcase that empathy and compassion in your answer and really highlight specific situations, where
Yeah.
you went above and beyond to help someone who's facing challenges.
Yeah.
Did you volunteer at a senior center or help a neighbor with grocery shopping?
Oh, yeah.
Even those things that aren't directly in a professional setting can demonstrate your genuine care and commitment.
It's like painting a picture of your character, right?
Right.
So what about this one? What is your understanding of the role of a community care caseworker?
Okay.
It seems pretty straightforward,
Yeah.
but how do you answer it in a way that really wows them?
Yeah, I would recommend going beyond that simple definition
Sure.
and really highlight those core responsibilities like assessing needs, creating those care plans, coordinating services, and really advocating for your clients. So you're not just, you're a champion for their well-being, navigating complex systems.
It's not just understanding those tasks, it's the impact you'll have.
Exactly.
Now, this one always seems to come up. How do you manage competing priorities and deadlines in your work?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone juggles multiple tasks, but like, what's the key to answering this effectively for this specific role?
Right. So, think about the nature of the work. You're
Yeah.
dealing with sensitive situations and supporting individuals who really rely on you. So your answer should really demonstrate those organizational skills and ability to prioritize effectively.
Uh-huh.
And even mention, tools or techniques that you use to stay on top of everything.
Like, are you a to-do list master?
Right.
A color-coded calendar guru like myself?
Exactly.
Okay, so speaking of calendars and schedules, what about describe a time you had to make a difficult decision regarding a client's care? This one feels a bit heavier.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is, but it's also a great chance to showcase your critical thinking and ethical decision-making skills.
Okay.
Think about a situation, even if it wasn't something directly in your professional experience where you had to weigh different factors and make a really tough call
Yeah.
that really prioritized someone's well-being.
Right.
What were the challenges you faced and how did you approach that decision-making process?
Hmm.
It's all about, being able to handle those sensitive situations with compassion and sound judgment.
That makes a lot of sense. So speaking of sensitive situations,
Yeah.
how would you guide someone to answer? How do you build and maintain relationships with clients and their families?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
all about trust and open communication, right?
Absolutely. Highlight that importance of active listening,
Oh, yeah.
really understanding their concerns, responding with empathy, and building that trust through consistent communication.
Right.
Think about those small gestures that show that you really genuinely care.
Yeah.
Remembering a birthday, asking about a family member, or just even taking the time to explain things clearly and patiently.
It's those little things.
Right.
So how do you stay up to date on new developments and trends in the field of community care? What are they really getting at with that?
They're really looking for someone who is passionate about their work
Right.
and committed to continuous learning. So, don't just say I read articles online,
Yeah.
but talk about those specific professional development opportunities.
Yeah.
Have you attended conferences or workshops? Are there specific publications that you follow? Even online courses or certifications can really demonstrate that dedication to staying current.
And RoleCatcher's Career Guide really highlights the value of those, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. For instance, a case management certification or a social work certification can really boost your credentials.
It's like adding another tool to your belt.
Exactly.
Now, this next one is a mouthful. Can you describe a time when you had to navigate a complex system of care providers and services to support a client's needs?
Okay.
It seems like they're really trying to gauge your problem-solving skills here.
Exactly. They want to know that you can handle the often confusing world of healthcare and social services.
Right.
So think about a time where you had to connect someone with multiple resources or navigate those bureaucratic hurdles.
Yeah.
Maybe you helped a family member find affordable housing or assisted someone in applying for disability benefits.
Right.
Share those challenges, the steps you took, and the outcome. It's all about demonstrating your resourcefulness and perseverance in advocating for someone's needs.
It's like being a puzzle solver.
Exactly.
So before we move on to the next set of questions, let's take a quick detour and talk about how RoleCatcher's AI can be a game changer in your interview prep.
Okay.
I'm particularly intrigued by how it helps tailor your answers to specific job roles.
Right. It's incredibly helpful.
Yeah?
You put your answer into a question,
Yep.
and the AI analyzes it, providing suggestions based on the language and keywords used in job descriptions for that specific role.
So it's like having an expert coach right there with you.
Exactly.
Wait, that's incredible.
It identifies areas where you can improve clarity, conciseness, and overall impact to make sure that your answers really resonate with recruiters and hiring managers.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a secret weapon.
Yes.
But we've covered a lot of ground already, so let's take a break and come back with even more insightful tips and strategies in part 2.
Okay. Welcome back to our deep dive into acing your community care caseworker interview.
Yeah, we've already tackled some challenging questions,
We have.
but there's more to explore.
Right.
We talked about empathy, problem solving, and even how RoleCatcher's AI can give you that personalized edge.
Right.
But what about those situations where you need to, work effectively with a team?
Mm-hmm.
How do you approach working with colleagues and other care providers to coordinate care for clients?
Yeah, teamwork is absolutely crucial in this field. You'll be collaborating with nurses, therapists, social workers, all different kinds of professionals
Right.
to create that really comprehensive care plan for each individual.
Mm-hmm.
So your answer should really emphasize those communication skills, your ability to listen and respect those diverse perspectives, and your willingness to collaborate to achieve that shared goal.
It's like conducting an orchestra,
Yeah,
making sure everyone's playing in harmony for a beautiful care plan.
that's a great analogy.
And don't be afraid to mention, experiences where you had to resolve conflicts or disagreements within a team.
Yes, absolutely.
That shows that you can handle those challenging dynamics.
Right.
Now let's talk about advocacy.
Okay.
This role isn't just about providing care.
Right.
It's about empowering these individuals to live their best lives.
Mm-hmm.
How would you suggest someone approach? Can you describe a time when you had to advocate for a client's needs or rights?
This is your chance to really shine as a champion for those who maybe can't advocate for themselves.
Mhm.
Think about a time when you had to speak up for someone or challenge a decision that maybe wasn't in their best interest.
Oh, yeah?
Could be at work, a volunteer role, or even your personal life.
Yeah.
The key is to really highlight your willingness to stand up for what's right, even when it's uncomfortable.
I remember when I was volunteering at a food bank and we had a client who was struggling to access transportation to their medical appointments.
Mm-hmm.
I had to reach out to several organizations and really advocate for her to receive that assistance. It was tough,
Yeah.
but it was rewarding.
Absolutely. And that's a perfect example.
Yeah.
You saw a need, took initiative, and navigated that complex system to really advocate for that person's well-being.
It's a good reminder that advocacy can take many forms,
Right.
from small gestures to larger scale efforts.
Yes.
Now, in today's increasingly diverse world,
Mm-hmm.
cultural sensitivity is so important.
It is.
How should someone approach? How do you ensure that your work is culturally responsive and sensitive to the needs of diverse communities?
This goes beyond just, being nice to everyone.
Right.
It's about demonstrating a deep understanding and respect for those different cultural backgrounds, values, and beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
So share examples of, how you've educated yourself about different cultural norms and practices.
So it's not just about awareness, but also about action.
Right.
Have you sought guidance from cultural liaisons or
Yeah.
collaborated with community organizations?
Eating
All of those
yeah.
are valuable experiences.
It's about showing that genuine commitment to providing culturally competent care,
Right.
recognizing that everyone deserves respect and understanding.
Now let's shift gears for a moment and dive back into RoleCatcher's career guide.
Okay.
It's packed with valuable insights beyond just the interview prep.
Is.
What are some key takeaways from that getting started section that you think will be helpful for aspiring community care caseworkers?
One of the things they emphasize is really gaining practical experience.
Okay.
This could be internships, volunteer work with organizations that support vulnerable adults,
Right.
or even shadowing experienced professionals.
It's one thing to learn about the role,
Yeah.
but to actually see it in action.
Exactly.
It gives you those valuable stories too.
Those real-world experiences really make your application stand out and demonstrate your genuine passion.
The guide also has a great section on elevating your career,
Yes.
which is really cool to see.
It is.
It's not just a stepping stone.
Right.
There's real potential for growth.
Absolutely. You can move into senior care management roles,
Wow.
specialize in a particular area of care, or even transition into leadership or management positions.
So someone could start as a community care caseworker and eventually become like a director on a community care organization.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's all about, continuous learning, building your expertise, and seizing those opportunities for growth.
And the guide highlights those certifications.
It does.
Are there any specific certifications that are particularly valuable in this field?
Well, first aid CPR is always a good one.
Okay.
As you might be working with individuals who require physical assistance.
Right.
Case management certification shows a dedicated interest in the profession,
Mm-hmm.
and a social work certification can really open up more career paths.
It's like leveling up your skills.
Exactly.
But beyond certifications, what other ways can you enhance your qualifications and demonstrate your capabilities?
The career guide also suggests creating case studies or reports that highlight those successful care management outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you help the client transition from a nursing home back to independent living.
Yeah.
Or assisted someone in securing those vital resources.
Right.
These are really powerful stories.
So it's not just about listing your skills,
Right.
but actually showcasing those accomplishments.
Exactly.
The positive difference that you've made.
Mm-hmm. And consider participating in professional conferences.
Okay.
Or even submitting articles to relevant publications.
Wow.
It's all about establishing yourself as that knowledgeable and passionate professional.
And networking is another crucial aspect.
It is.
It's not just about schmoozing at cocktail parties, right?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Networking in this field is about connecting with other professionals who share your passion.
Mm-hmm.
Attending conferences and workshops, joining professional organizations, and utilizing those online platforms like LinkedIn.
It's really about building a community.
Yeah.
Sharing that knowledge
Mm-hmm.
to improve the lives of those you serve.
Exactly. And you never know where those connections might lead to mentorship opportunities, job leads, or even collaborations on impactful projects.
Speaking of impactful projects, I'm curious about the career stages section in the guide.
Okay.
It outlines those different levels of responsibility.
It does.
So let's take a quick peek at each stage.
Okay.
What does an entry-level community care caseworker typically do?
They often conduct those initial assessments, assist with care plans,
Okay.
provide direct support to clients, and learn from those more experienced colleagues.
Okay, so kind of like laying the groundwork. So what about a junior community care caseworker?
They're going to take on more responsibility developing and implementing those individualized care plans,
Okay.
coordinating services like home health care or transportation,
Mm-hmm.
and advocating for clients' rights.
Stepping it up.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when someone becomes like an experienced community care caseworker?
Their role expands to include conducting those more comprehensive assessments, managing more complex care packages for individuals with higher needs, collaborating with a wider range of stakeholders,
Right.
and even advocating for those policy changes.
Wow. Taking on that leadership role,
Right.
and then the pinnacle, senior community care caseworker.
At this level, you're overseeing a team of care workers, conducting those complex assessments for clients with very specialized needs,
Wow.
collaborating with senior management
Okay.
to really shape that organizational strategy,
Right.
and providing expert advice and mentorship.
It's incredible to see how this role can grow and evolve,
It is.
and it's all within reach with
Yeah.
dedication and hard work.
Right.
Now, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Okay.
let's circle back to RoleCatcher's AI
Mm-hmm.
and how it can help you navigate, the often confusing world of those automated recruitment processes.
Right.
We've already talked about tailoring CVs and practicing answers. Was there more to it?
Absolutely. In today's job market, a lot of companies use those applicant tracking systems
Oh, yeah?
or ATM, to screen applications.
Okay.
Before a human ever sees them, these systems scan for keywords and skills, and if your application doesn't align, it might get rejected before it reaches a recruiter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's frustrating.
But RoleCatcher's AI can really help with that. It analyzes job descriptions and identifies the keywords and skills that those ATS systems are looking for.
Okay.
Then provides suggestions to optimize your application and ensures you have the right language.
So it's like speaking the language of the robots.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah,
We've covered a lot of ground in this second part of our deep dive.
we have.
From teamwork and advocacy to career growth and the power of AI.
It's been great.
Take a moment to absorb all this valuable information, and we'll be back with the final part of our exploration where we'll recap those key takeaways and leave you with some inspiring final thoughts. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into the world of community care casework.
Yes.
We've covered so much,
Yeah.
unpacking those tricky interview questions to exploring career paths, and even unlocking the power of RoleCatcher's AI.
It's been a lot.
But before we send you off to conquer that interview and embark on this fulfilling career path,
Right.
let's crystallize some of the key takeaways.
Yeah. What are some of those things that really stand out to you?
Well, I think it all starts with empathy.
Right.
It's the foundation of everything.
Yes.
It's about connecting with people, understanding their challenges, and just offering that genuine support.
It's not just checking off boxes.
Right.
It's really about building that trust and empowering those individuals to live with dignity.
And problem solving is a big one, too.
It
You'll be navigating those complex systems, advocating for clients.
It's like being a detective, a negotiator, and a cheerleader all at the same time.
And let's not forget about continuous learning.
Oh, absolutely.
That field's always evolving.
Right.
So staying updated on new developments, pursuing those certifications.
And RoleCatcher's Career Guide is a great tool for that. It provides valuable insight into all of that.
And speaking of RoleCatcher, their AI features are like game changers.
They are.
From tailoring your CV to providing personalized feedback on your answers.
Especially with those automated recruitment processes.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher can help you make sure that your application stands out.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I want to leave you with a thought. What aspect of the community care caseworker role excites you the most?
What impact do you want to make?
Head over to RoleCatcher
Explore the resources.
and start prepping for that interview success.
Yes.
You've got this